Hello students, welcome to the online lecture series of St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, Gurugram. Myself Satinder Vath, Assistant Professor in ETC Department. So in today's lecture we will see the differential phase shift keying and quadrature phase shift keying, which is the topic of Unit 4th of Communication Systems in ETC 4th semester. So till now we have learned about amplitude shift keying, frequency shift keying, that is FSK, and phase shift keying. So in phase shift keying we saw that we could not detect it using the non-coherent method, which increasing the cost of the receiver. So we saw that it is not possible to have a non-coherent detection possible for PSK. So to detect the non-coherent PSK we would use DPSK, that is we would generate a differential phase shift keying signal which can be received at the receiver end using non-coherent detection method. So it reduces the cost of the circuit to be detected. Okay, so here is the DPSK transmitter in which we are using a XOR gate to give the input. Okay, so what it does in this diagram, the input is theta k and the output of the XOR gate is feeded. The feedback is taken using a delay circuit that will produce a 1-bit delay in the output of the XOR gate. So if this is theta k at the input, we would get theta k minus 1 as the output of the 1-bit delay circuit, which is a delayed signal, that is theta k minus 1. So at the output of XOR gate we would get dk is equal to theta k minus 1. So if theta k and theta k are the two inputs, so at the output of XOR gate we would get dk, that is if both the inputs are of the same polarity, that is 0 0, we would get 0 in case of 0 0 and in case of 1 and 1. And if 0 and 1 are there for opposite polarity, then we would get dk as 1. So then we will feed it to the circuit to produce the polar form. Okay, polar form, that is this data 1 0 1 1 0 0 1 1, and then we will feed it to the multiplier, and there would be a carrier signal cos omega ct which will produce plus minus ak cos omega ct. So it would be plus ak cos omega ct and minus ak cos omega ct depending upon the value of the input. If it is 0, it will be minus ak cos omega ct, and if it is 1, it will be plus ak cos omega ct. So if this is our data, then the DPSK signal would look like this. If next data is 1, then we can draw it using these two conditions. If next data is 1, then the change of polarity of output will take place. Okay, like this. If the initially it was 1, so we have 1. After 1 we have 0, so the polarity would not change, it would remain high. Now if the input is 1, the polarity would change to 0. Now again input is 1, so polarity would again change to positive. Now it is 0 and 0, so it would remain same till here. Now it is again 1, so it would produce another polarity signal, it will change the polarity to 0, and last it is again 1, so it will again change. So this is how we can generate our DPSK signal if we have the data input. So in the if the next data is 1, then the change of polarity, there will be a change of polarity of output in DPSK. If next data is 0, like in this case, there would not be any change of polarity, it would remain same what it was previously. So this is how we can generate the waveforms, and this is the basic diagram of a DPSK transmitter block diagram. Okay, so now we have a DPSK receiver which is a non-coherent, which was our requirement in the starting, that we needed non-coherent detection to reduce the cost, so that we do not need to use the carrier signal again at the receiver end, for which we need a local oscillator. So we don't need any local oscillator in this circuits. So this is our input DPSK input that we received at the receiver end, AK cos omega ct, and we will feed it to a multiplier that, okay, and a 1 bit delay circuit also, or 1 bit delay input. So one input goes directly and one goes with a 1 bit of delay into the multiplier. So at the output of multiplier, that is YT, we would get AK cos omega ct, and case first, if the same polarity inputs are there, that is this input AK cos omega ct, let's see again, this input AK cos omega ct and the delayed input both have the same polarity, that is both are positive, then at YT we would get AK cos omega ct multiply AK cos omega ct, so it would become AK square cos omega square ct. So using the cosine function we can convert it into this, so it comes out to be AK square by 2 plus AK square by 2 cos 2 omega ct. So this is our high frequency carrier signal, and this is our message signal. So using a low pass filter we can get the desired output, which is the message signal, that is AK square by 2. So it would be the bit 1 if it is positive, that is both the signal, incoming signal and the delayed signal are both positive, so we would get a +1, that is the at output we would get 1. Now if opposite polarity of the inputs are there, that is this is AK cos omega ct and the delayed signal is minus AK cos omega ct, so in the last we would get minus AK square by 2 minus AK square by 2 cos 2 omega ct. So again we will feed it to a low pass filter which will reject this frequency and pass this message signal only. Since it is negative, so it would be bit 0. So if it is positive it would be 1, if it is negative it would be 0. This is how we can receive our signal or detect our DPSK signal. So in this signal you can see that we haven't used the local oscillator or the carrier frequency at the receiver end. So this is a non-coherent detection. So there are some of the advantages of DPSK. It is a non-coherent detection is possible, cost is less, as this non-coherent detection will reduce the cost, and the circuit complexity is also less. Disadvantage is there that noise immunity is not as good as the PSK system. Okay, so this is the DPSK differential phase shift keying. Now next is quadrature phase shift keying. As we have already seen the binary phase shift keying, in which we were using 0 and 1 to represent our data. So in QPSK phase shift key we would have 4 phases that can be represented using 2 bits. That is, for 0 degree we would have 0 0, for 180 degree we would have 0 and 1, for 90 degree phase we would be having 1 0, and for 270 degree we would be having 1 and 1. So here in this case we would be having 4 phases in the modulated carrier signal, and these can be represented by a combination of 2 bits. Okay, so 2 bits will be sent at once in this signal QPSK. So QPSK is a form of PSK phase shift keying in which 2 bits are modulated at once. So 2 bits are modulated at once in QPSK, while in BPSK only one bit was modulated at once. So it selects one of the four possible carrier phase shifts, that is 0, 90, 180 and 270 degrees. QPSK allows the signal to carry twice as much as information as ordinary PSK using the same bandwidth. So this is one of the major advantage of QPSK, that we can or in other words we can say, using the same number of bits we can transmit more information, or the more information can be represented using fewer number of bits, so bandwidth would be reduced drastically in QPSK. So this is one of the major advantage. It is used for satellite communication, cable modem and cellular phone system as well. So let's see the QPSK modulator first. So it is our digital data in the form of binary 0 1 0 1 1, or it can be any bit stream. So it is fed to a bit splitter that will split these bits coming into the splitter in odd and even number of bits. Odd bits will be there and even bits will be there. So basically it is a serial to parallel converter, 2-bit serial to parallel converter. So even bits are fed to this binary PSK system I, and odd bits are fed to BPSK Q. So here in BPSK first we have a carrier frequency signal cos omega ct, and in this BPSK we have a phase shifted version of carrier, that is minus cos omega ct. So in this we have a phase shifted version in which odd bits are faded, and in this BPSK system we have a original carrier signal. So output of these BPSKs BPSK modulators will be then added over there, or we can say that the one bit comes from there and one bit comes from there, as a binary phase shift key gives us only one bit of information at one time. So here we would get two bits at once. It could be 0 0, it could be 0 1, 1 0 or 1 1. If we get 0 0, then the phase of the carrier would be shifted by 0 degree. If we get 0 1, then the phase would be shifted by 180 degree. Similarly, if the phase is shifted by if we get 1 0, the phase would be shifted by 90 degree, and similarly if we get 1 1, the phase would be shifted by 270 degrees. So basically in QPSK we have 4 phase shifted version of the carrier, okay, which can be represented by using 2 bits. So this is our modulator which will generate the QPSK signal. Now we have the QPSK waveforms. This you can say, if this is the carrier signal, so the BPSK modulated wave would QPSK modulated wave would look like this. If this is for 0 0, if input is 0 0, then the phase would be shifted by only 0, that is it remains the same. But if we get 0 1, then there will be a phase shift of 180 degree. You can see over there is a phase shift of 180 degree on this line, okay. Here is a phase shift of 180 degree. If we get 1 0, then there will be a phase shift of 90 degree, as you can see, and if we get 1 1, then there will be a phase shift of 270 degree. So this is how we will get quadrature PSK modulated wave, in which we have 4 phases to represent our carrier signal. So this is the demodulator of quadrature phase shift king. This is the QPSK input given to both these BPSK phase shift king, and this is the phase shift king demodulators PSK-I, and this is PSK-Q, okay. So the input would be given to both of them. It is a coherent detector basically. So in this we would feed the local frequency using this local oscillator in the original form, and in this we would feed the 90-degree phase shift version of carrier signal. So here we get demodulated version I and there demodulated bit Q information. So the information that comes here we will feed it to low pass filter, and from here also we would use a low pass filter which would be then given to square wave generators, and it will generate the bits. So this is a parallel to serial bit converter. So here we will get one bit from this square wave generator and one bit from this square wave generator. So it can be, what we can get is 0 0 0 1 1 0 or 1 1 depending upon the QPSK inputs. So using this demodulator we can get our digital data back. So since we are using a local oscillator to generate the carrier frequency at the receiver as well, so it is also a coherent method of detection. So this is the basic block diagram for the QPSK. So this is how you can generate QPSK and detect QPSK. So in this lecture we have seen two modulation techniques, digital modulation techniques, that is differential phase shift and quadrature phase shift keying. So this is it for this lecture. Thank you very much.